Welcome to the Courage Never Quits podcast, where members of the class of 1986 tell their stories. I'm your host, Paul LaFontaine. Today we have a field report. Classmate Bob Albino, after a long period of extremely relaxed grooming standards, has gathered his family to shave him back into shape. Think of that old belt buckle in your drawer that hasn't seen a shine in a while, and you pull out the brasso and a rag and you bring it back to life. That's what we're about to see with Bob. First to Bob for a story.
So there I was, West Point graduation day, class of 86. The date, 28 May 1986. And lo and behold, Dave Bonsavage and I got an 8 and 8 for missing class. We thought the class was canceled. Turns out it wasn't. An 8 and 8. And we are serving tours, knowing that we could complete all of them before graduation and graduate on time. However, the sergeant of the guard comes up to me after I finished 7 of the 8 and tells me, "Albino, get out of here, you're done." And I go, "Whoa, wait a second. Sergeant of the guard, you miscounted. I actually have 1 more hour to complete." "No, you don't. You're out of here. Go get ready for graduation." But. Get out of here, Albino." Okay, well, I get out of there, but then for the last 30, 40 years, I have this reoccurring nightmare that my accounting was indeed correct, and I have 1 area tour outstanding. The nightmare has finally come true. West Point called me back to report to the sergeant of the guard to serve that 1 last hour of area tour. Therefore, I have to remove my retirement Santa Claus beard to report clean shaven to the sergeant of the guard to serve that last area tour.
Okay.
And that's the Albino estate, we call that.
You can call it whatever you want.
Right? Casa Albino.
Annika, I guess, can you aim the camera so that that's what Paul sees.
Okay.
Ja, das Licht ist schlecht, aber... Ja.
Ist dunkel, ne? Glasses.
Okay. There you go.
Gently, Bobby. Here. No, hold it. You hold it. Look. Go like this. Go gently. Okay? Now your turn.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we are watching right now is Bob Albino getting a haircut. But it's a special haircut because he's going from looking like Santa Claus or like Karl Marx back into becoming Bob Albino once again. Now, Bob, you're going very tight there. I think that's laudable. It's kind of a ranger school / excellent. Now, for those of you wondering why the camera is moving around, we have a phone camera, a FaceTime, and then a camera on the FaceTime. Okay. Look at that beard, ladies and gentlemen. If there ever was a grooming standard that could be relaxed, that is it. This is the transition of Bob Albino from a beat poet back into the Special Forces warrior that he is.
It reminds me, so who was the prime character on our barbershop at West Point? Big Ed.
Big Ed.
Yes.
Even Big Ed would have a hard time replicating the absolute precision that is being displayed here today.
Yeah. My wife has been my barber since before we were married.
I think I need to get.
Honey, you get paid with love.
Well, I think a $20 bill would probably be more usable, but that's okay, Bob.
I'm gonna charge over.
$20? Oh my goodness, inflation. What did we have to pay Big Ed? I think it was like $3-4,
right.
Wasn't it?
That was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, that's cleaning up real nice, Bob. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Oops,
Yes. Yeah, I guess if necessary, I could report back to active duty for whatever.
You do have that 1 hour you have to serve.
The Army's having.
Yeah, there's that 1 hour you've got to serve back on the area, so we'll get you cleaned up for that.
Understood, yes. It will be. The way the crazy man aspect could be.
This is German Santa Claus.
Yeah.
That's right. You now look like an 18th century railroad baron. We're just going, this is like a little tour in history.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I think the crazy man matches my persona.
Yeah, I can't speak to that. I'm glad you said it though, Bob.
Oh my God, look. I found the treasure.
There he is. There he is.
A couple of days ago, my wife decided to braid my beard.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you're.
Am I about done?
He's revealed.
No. Bobby, no. My God.
Jetzt siehst du langsam wieder so aus, wie ich dich kenne, aber.
Yeah. The clippers work pretty well. I'm obviously going to have to touch up with a shaving cream and a razor, but
You're gonna go have to re-meet your neighbors. They're not gonna recognize you.
that's true.
Maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, Operation Face Liberation has been successfully accomplished. I will now be prepared to report on our day. Well, maybe I need to take a step a little closer to the straight razor with some cream on first. But anyway, I will be prepared to report, to serve out that one remaining area tour. I will proudly be reporting. New Cadet Albino reports to the man in the red sash, sir!
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Courage Never Quits podcast, where any member of the class of 1986 who is willing to tell their story will be a guest. To get the word out and stay up to date on the latest episodes, hit the like and subscribe button. With over 900 living graduates, we have a lot of stories to tell, and you don't want to miss any of them. We'll see you in the next episode.